As we look at the Roman Empire, we find that there are limitations with its boundaries. So as we noted, Babylon, then came Persia, ate all of Babylon, then Greece came along and they ate all of the Persian Empire. Rome didn't really do that. Rome did increase under its largest extent, I believe, under Trajan in 117 AD. And it had links all the way to the west in Britain, and then to the east. They did make it all the way to Babylon, but Babylon was destroyed at this point, and they didn't really hold those territories very long. In fact, the east was very problematic for the Roman Empire itself. We had the Parthians that came up. They were in Iran. They're the Persians that had resurfaced. They were able to break off the yoke of the Seleucid Empire, which is Greek. And there was a lot of conflict that Rome was having with the Parthians. Then after the Parthians came the Sassanians themselves, and they kind of had a more centralized government, and they're the ones that established Zoroastrianism as the central religion that was over there. And that empire held over in that region until 651 AD when it finally fell. It is the last pre-Islamic empire in that area. Rome never fully conquered the lands of Persia. It barely held going to Babylon itself. So it didn't really venture too far into the east, even if its borders did temporarily expand there. It didn't really house that. But when we look at a view that holds that the two legs are not Roman, but Islamic, that to me ends up changing the picture. Because as we look at these empires that took over one another, again, Rome not fully taking over what the Persian Empire did, and even to the Grecian Empire, but the Islamic Caliphate really did. It extended its borders into those regions, also into North Africa, and they began, even later on, under the Ottomans, beginning to go into Spain and to Greece, and to really have a lot of territory that they began to eat up. So when we look at how in the world those legs could split, we do know that early on, as Islam started, and we start going through all the caliphs, it wasn't too long after the death of Muhammad that the Islamic religion, it ended up splitting into the Sunnis and the Shias themselves. And possibly, if that is what ends up taking the place of the two legs, then progressing from Babylon to Persia to Greece to an Islamic caliphate instead of the legs of the Roman Empire, then this could be something that matches that view as well.